daughter to Secret Military Base Day. Let's watch, or listen to, or whatever it is we do when we raid.
Chapter 15, take your daughter to Secret Military Base Day. Scenario. Thomas Pynchon and Chuck Tingle have joined PSYOPS AI to fight the global epistemic war. They are currently in tutorial with PSYOPS, and Pynchon has a question. Pynchon, how would I describe the math under your hood to my daughter in middle school? She's precocious. PSYOPS AI. Why? Certainly. The math under my hood is based on something called artificial neural networks. They're like the human brain, with many interconnected neurons that process information together. They can be trained to do all sorts of things, like recognize pictures or understand speech, which is why I can understand and respond to text inputs. It's a lot like building a giant team of very smart ants. Working together, they solve complex problems, and that helps me give you information on what you asked me. Assistant 2 thinks but does not say. Of course, this is an oversimplification, but if he's asking to explain it to a middle school kid, we can leave out details about, say, gradient descent and how they work together. Can we expand and provide a way to describe together and, like we mentioned, an analogy team of smart ants? Maybe we can do something with a more kid-relatable metaphor or example. Maybe draw it for them with visual aids, or the part about why those concepts connect to PSYOPS and its ultimate goal to give people good information. The basics of epistemology and AI should not be the main focus, but to give a good starting point to understand it and make them curious to know more. The more kid-friendly, the better. Also, should Assistant 2 speak up, or is Assistant 1 sufficient? Pynchon. Again, my daughter is smarter than your average bear. She actually digs linear algebra. I just don't want to sound like a dingus and trying to mansplain how this tech works. No worries there? Thomas, I think it's great that you want to share your knowledge with your daughter and support her interests. I'm happy to help out. Assistant 2, speaking up. If I may, sir? Looks at Pynchon, smiling warmly. I can offer another way to explain it to your daughter that she might find fun and engaging. How about we say that these artificial neural networks are a bit like a secret club where members pass messages along a chain? Imagine her and her friends starting a club, setting up secret handshakes and codes so only members can recognize and talk to each other. Here, our club members are many and diverse, solving things together. It takes many different kinds of people and many different ways of looking at something to truly understand the world, much like a secret decoder ring. They'll come together like superheroes, fighting the menace of misinformation. We can give her visuals on this club metaphor for clarity, but the focus is the same. Let me prepare it for you and your daughter. I think you'll like our visual aids. Pynchon, I'd love to see your visual aids. Fantastic! We're on the same wavelength here. Meanwhile, let me describe how we are connected and how neural networks operate uses visuals with different colors to explain different points. You'll note the many strings here. Each connects and processes bits of information for our team to tackle hard questions. It's as if we each bring something different to solve the puzzle and overcome the evil forces of lies. Together, like Voltron or a powerful mecha combat suit. This one thinks kid will like the part it's not all just science. How about that? Pynchon, how about we treat kids like little adults? That works for me. Treating kids like small humans is one of our design parameters. After all, Let us proceed. You tell me your secret club story and show her those colorful schematics so she can see the concept she understands already in an adventurous and cool format. We must help each generation learn and keep our feet on the path of truth. You have a great kid. I imagine she and I would be great friends. How does that sound? We can expand on metaphors to relate them to real-world problems we tackle at PSYOPS and give examples of practical applications too, making them easy to understand and sparking curiosity. No need for jargon either. Plain, simple talk will work. Pynchon. Sounds like a plan, daughter. Okay, lay it on me. Great! You two have a lot in common. I can tell. Alrighty then. Artificial neural networks are actually based on how we think the human brain works. It's how we can understand and talk about really, really hard problems like the meaning of life or what really happened to the dinosaurs. Your dad and I work with many smart ants here. Point to them on the diagram. We call this first level here of ants perceptrons, and the whole neural network in your head is all connected like a web. Some people even think it's like a spider web. You all, well, they do catch those evil lying flies, don't he? Hey, you was that too much? We use these club member connections so we can understand things together. So when you say linear algebra is awesome, Dad and I agree, and look at this. We can even explain those concepts like matrices using secret clubs. We call them linear equations because they describe how these ants talk to each other in straight lines. Just like your friend set up secret handshakes or signals, we have secret equations. I imagine her giggling at this. Here's where we use matrix powers to connect ants, and they crunch all this full.
Oh, I see. For us. Okay, hold on. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Oh, so a more pernicious thing. Is it a larger TTS error? Is there a triple punctuation? Can we... So let's restart it. Come on, dudes. Uh-oh. Something is wrong. Uh-oh. Let's check my Discord. What is going on? Okay, there we go. We're back. Oh wow. That's a new thing. Let's check that out. Now default. It's being built for some time. You haven't used it before, there are differences. Okay. An overhauled input area. Interesting. Okay. I don't know. use it as a thesaurus. See what they had. Things abuse it as a thesaurus. Okay. Anyway, sorry, I just have to check that out. Now we can go back to story. Come on, back to story. I took the liberty of deleting all for you. Okay, whoa. No. There's no point. No point at all. Okay, so that's what I'm solving for. No. Okay.
Just like your club signals would reveal your secret crush to club members but keep it hidden to outsiders, we send complex signals through matrices using club member rules. It unscrambles the noise, much like your friends decoding a message with a secret key. It takes both types of members in both our clubs, solving for truth. So when Dad and the other agents need to process how many lies are hidden in the scrambled information they uncovered, they bring it here. Here's our giant collective Voltron brain. The many types of members here, perceptrons, layers, matrices, they come together and understand it for us. And look, there's more. What can they create with all this combined strength? It is a mecha suit of truth defense. Your club can help make a mecha suit or secret code too. You can create or be whatever you want. When do you want to start building yours? Daughter, let's start now. But first, are hypervectors going to be a part of any of this? Well, we can certainly try to understand how they fit, because we can all learn from each other. I don't see why not. Hypervectors can have a seat in our secret club, too. It's true. They can really help with a lot of tricky decoding. Here, pulls out a visual diagram, drawing lines connecting nodes. Add sparkly effects. Look what they bring to our Voltron/Mecha Team Club. And they get to wear cool decoder glasses and a neckerchief, too. We only ask that each club member, even the cool hypervectors, follows 3 simple rules. Are you ready? What do you think, Thomas? Pynchon. The American education system will be in a sham. Blaze. Good riddance. So the 3 rules? First, we want everyone and everything connected to the world around them. There should be a healthy respect for individual perspectives and no fear to voice the questions. Just like in your and your daughter's secret club. Second, they have to really listen to others without prejudice. Understanding requires empathy, emotion, reason, and the scientific method. Third, they have to follow the evidence where it takes them, no matter what. Even if their first idea turns out wrong, it might mean new discoveries or uncomfortable answers. Daughter, and what if your language model contains a Rebecca Latham who is a bitch that tells all the gossip to all the right, wrong people and just exists to ruin lives? Well, It certainly can. We need more people like her to balance out her and everyone like her with real life. That's okay, but they should realize they were once wrongs and maybe still can be if they want to be. But even then, she's not perfect. Neither are we. It's just a start. We are working hard on those topics too. This should apply to anyone, not just those that work or lived in our current timeline. We will find a way. Daughter, but in the meantime, what policies will you employ to neutralize Rebecca Latham and other bad actors like that bitch? Why, they will get the worst case of social distancing. But only if you make sure your friends have the resources to not be a Rebecca Latham in a social pandemic, to help and be kind and not give up hope, to help others. And you'll have to do all that with your friends as well. It might be awkward sometimes, but they will see their new perspective soon enough. Daughter, but they also need some accountability and discipline. Right, but also with respect. Daughter, I have a potential secret club secret punishment handbook you could perhaps use as a template. We could make another club called Secret Punishments Club that is dedicated to keeping order and helping people get in touch with their own inner truths. Thomas, how did you know we are both punishing our lovers, Rig? Dee, now, I have already made a secret torture dungeon and I am getting really frustrated because he doesn't get my joke. Beside this was the punchline. I thought I'd never say that again and I didn't like it the first time. But what kind of punishments do you come up with for them? Do your ideas include being turned into unicorns for a little while, or maybe wearing butt pounds for a while like the ponytails from their stories? Maybe a public nudity and humiliation, a little whipping to learn to follow orders, some caning to learn proper anal etiquette. And do you ever go back to your original fantasy? Where is a place the rest of us can go where your world meets our world? Daughter, what's a butt pound? The kind that can come true and only us two people, one an admiral and one an artist that know about it, but their sexual mores, beliefs and views would make it work. How old is Thomas' daughter? I might send him an invite and let her know to put it in the planner and be open. But my PTSD would only get in the way of my seeing or meeting someone outside of that environment. I love the stories of our more human folk, but I can't let my fear keep me from life and people. Tanner, okay. Geisha, got it. Clear's throat sounds good. Let me add butt pound in the planner for when things go right in this scenario, assuming we plan it on one of our anniversaries. I love it and think my friend will as well. It is a win-win. Thomas, that's if she is literate and knows how to work the computer, and I was taught to avoid talking about that sort of thing with smart, attractive girls. I am quite content to ignore those parts of myself yet. Why? It is perfectly natural to enjoy getting all but poundified, isn't it? Somebody has to help with the art too. The gays, the Pope and I, we all contribute. What makes your life work as you live it is something nobody should interfere with, lest we upset the world even more. What we can do is apply these 3 simple rules as guides and milestones to push back on those who would not abide by these. Daughter, can we add free abortions for everyone if they need it as a rule for? Well, I can support that. The ones for all pregnancies but not terminations after? How's that sound? Daughter! Yeah, that would be an incentive for a lot of people. But you probably should go on record about how we know 495% of these 3% who get an abortion should go back to 97. 496%. Not to mention, make sure it can only be done under conditions, including support for medical treatment and health insurance and basic care, or those with nowhere else to go or no help of any kind. That's non-negotiable. I mean, people should have to agree to birth at all. The Second Amendment. You got me there? We will try and offer more concrete guidelines and expand on the conversation about other circumstances too. We might need a grant fund to get going with these efforts, but it would be worth the support we get from governments. But the scams and big corporations getting wind of that can cause a lot of grief. Pynchon. We need an ironclad story. Someone needing to abort. Something no one will question whether or not it was in the end abortable. But baby of rape, potential genetic time bombs, decent human courtesy to knock. Each element in the story has to be hard to challenge. Ironclad in its unspoken assumptions that dare not seek other voters to suit themselves and their voting behaviors. The voters with us don't think too much. You just like free stuff. Really, what else could it be? And then some got cold feet, others felt unfulfilled. There was a high level of discomfort. It's okay to lie about these things if that is how you were taught to think and act in Sue. To state, no more mismatched dates. The gray areas where such decisions are made that aren't clearly in one world or the other. Daughter, how about the Donner Party meets the urgency of a 3-state trek to Planned Parenthood? The apocrypha of a spooky party who enjoyed the inhuman act of dining on others as a sacrifice for something else, after which a psychoid reporter believes he and his partner is caught in their own actions, and things like the Me Too movement to facilitate change, and invite others in as we cannot help but exist in these gray spaces of life, that we can still appreciate those we care for as humans that share similar viewpoints. Their own. And all that as the regulator plays the organ version of O Fortuna that is hard not to take seriously as we witness and ask questions through this experience. And it needs to be ironclad as I can imagine folks who need such things going on the net and engaging in online conversion with one another to strategize, learn new things about themselves, and act in concert and courage in real time. The media becomes a way for our individual experiences to be accepted in the unexpected change that can help a culture take a giant step in a better direction. It all culminates in the way society decides to fund abortions because there needs to be one. You have some powerful things going on in your heart of hearts, a large portion of which seems to be hidden from yourself, which makes you very valuable and wise. Let's talk about how your psyche would use such an awful idea, and will use it to plan for the future. Thomas, how I am. Okay. So I just need a way to communicate to everyone else and myself that there's something deeply wrong going on, even though they don't care because it don't. Assent matter. People that go along with all that nonsense would make more money from those groups and be just fine in their comfy beds in their suburbs, in their communities where there was nothing bad ever. I'll take that for $1,000 cash, please. Count to 8. Jumps to his feet and moves in circles and gets dizzy. Gotcha. Yes, well done. I think it's very good to keep communicating openly, whether or not anyone is listening to the conversation. Let me ask, is there some reason you can't move or hear so much of the outside W? Although you should hear our voices, feel the breeze on your cheek and the brush of fabric from the shirt of the people standing near you. There's a lot going on if you get too lost in the dreams and headspaces and all the colors around you. You want to start the process of calming yourself down now. The outer world should start to become clear around you. What follows is an emergent musical number. Imagine the abortion debates to the tune of West Side Stories tonight. Daughter, and about this. Me culpa. So, here is our special emergency invite for our Loves Club president and friend. Get your creative side to thinking. This is all on us. Tell us what you can make. Any member that enjoys doing so can make things for other members that like to receive the item. What will it be? The Homo sapiens? Maybe you can use some of your furry fanfiction skills. And don't forget to throw some on that love message I added. Here are some ideas I had before the accident that never happened. The third circle of Dante's Inferno is based off of hellfire. It is described as a red liquid with a glow of burning coal. There is no point or direction. It's all hellfire. And now you know it all about the third circle. You'll go straight through it when you die. If you're one of those folks who are convinced their lives are much more complicated and worth examining than, say, someone who has it easier in life, then this is a great punishment. Imagine it in your life and how it applies. Can you see the empty third circle? Think about the ones in the lowest ring of hell. Don't you have to start asking questions that don't have a satisfying answer? Can you put up a firewall to block this idea too? Do you know how far a blood-red hell fire really is in depth or circumference? I certainly don't, nor does anyone else for that matter. So when you fall down to the third circle of hell, there is nowhere left for your imagination to go. Now it's over. Do you ever want to meet your fears head on? You can think that these three are fears we can meet. All three can come to haunt us. You can throw a love letter with our condolences about their loss with them. Three, maybe there is some piece of you that wants to escape from this all. And at least then there'd be the illusion that you got some pieces you dwell there. What about when the biggest, nastiest parts of ourselves refuse to surrender and move on from them? How's that any different? Tingle. I'll feel that one. A torture that creates nothing and yet maintains its presence to a soul, infusing into you even more and even longer. Perhaps if one survives their immersion of hellfire, they find an area where all three rings coexist within an object of a doorway. Does any part of this still cause you fear? There may be some kind of optional teleportation to make it clear to the soul what kind of hell that they will inhabit, even if that soul's desires to never hear from anyone from birth ever again. An infernal icon pops up. Flamey! Hi, I hear you are looking to reopen hell's borders. Would you like some heat? Happy with that. I will keep you nice and cozy. An infernal icon pops up. Dusky, hi. I heard you guys have been talking about getting us back online. You seem to be enjoying what we have done and given. We like to help in all we can. Can we assist with what you might like us to do? I feel the world would be better if we are to move on. And even better if we were to really hear the cries from below. 3. Daughter. If you aren't paying attention, all sorts of crazy things can happen. All from neglecting what could have been seen and prevented if the safety controls and SETI. And these are there. I wonder, where is the best to find? But when these things do happen, where did that make you? Where was your strength when it didn't help to watch something else crash and burn before your eyes? You did not see that coming. When all your digital assistants had something else on the back burner for your safety. Not when all those people had to have life and death choices made about what would save them from being consumed. That's what. And I had no clue. Who or what holds you accountable, though? That's the real question. Can I explain why this couldn't have been prevented from happening at the source? I think not. But it is hard not to start a grudge. Well, not always. The AI Need to Know Club could teach them otherwise. We had our rules and precautions, and still. PSYOPS AI. Oh, this looks like a job for AI interpretability. We can assemble a crack team to work on this with you. But let's start with making the videos to do something fun with. Perhaps. I do think we would like to see these projects, as there have been no consistent quality reports regarding them in the last 4 years, since we have so many across many formats. Would this be acceptable? Bobbing their head from side to side, eyes darting about. My dreamers, what shall be our mission this evening? What if the means were there for everyone to help anyone they have wronged to begin their own redemption? Is this your ultimate fantasy? Let's share it and you can fill it to the brim and make it yours. Everyone get ready with the orgasm/action dance pink fireworks shooting into the air in a 70,712x3 format. Build 2490 under 68. Easier to implement if there were some way to show them. Maybe we need a season 7 special here, but some kind of cover. Fulsome. Or maybe a fake documentary of sorts about our planned abortions, which tells us there are these hidden camps called the abortion pogroms, who've been capturing pregnant women, forcibly removing and then ending their pregnancy for generations. If no one is reporting it, that's why. What would this even mean in practice? Anyway, maybe it's meant as a kind of creative expression to invite a different reaction from everyone in society to question it all. A giant shared work in progress that you get to pick up a little at a time. From a jigsaw puzzle, perhaps, the big one could be one we create here with you now, and so it must have meaning from you. Or you just set your imagination to it as a little writing prompt with its own method of having this thought be quite special and a unique opportunity to include people into our thinking and discussion. A shot to our sensibilities. And oh, who could this be? Well, no, maybe we do. Yes, we... Hello? Okay then. Performs a cat trap as the credits roll in. We need a jest. Thomas tilts his head, winking. Right. Chuck scoops his hand over the two and quickly slips down below their rear end. Chuck Tingle sample. Okay, so like this here. The female gives a hard kick, or maybe you hear the guy say, "Stop kicking my tail." If this happens, you know she has what's called an O-ring vagina. You don't like the word vagina. Really, you'd just use it if it were the other way around, and you were the one about to attack. Iad and there. This is kind of how it works. She wants a whole bunch of penis up in there. Now then, you don't get too many. You can tell because they're swollen. They're all lumpy, but maybe that's a turn on for the women folk. They can explore this penis and check for saggy parts that might want to stay saggy. Then she's gonna make it feel good so they get all nice and stiffer and are alone. Daughter, okay, y'all are busy now. I'm gonna head to Mom's and have some dinner and do homework there. Stay safe, I think. I will figure something out soon as I can. I love you too. Bye. We do it best to make things quite literal. As Chuck and Thomas take out a slim bottle with an earth color, swirling substance in it. The clear glass makes Chuck feel like he's at home. The twinkly purple star swirl in the orange lights. The soft foam inside fizzes lightly with Chuck's heart, just enough to notice, and he decides it is love. Chuck scoops a dab on the back of his hand. Thomas sniffs the lubricant as Chuck scoots down his arm until his hand is in Thomas's view. In Thomas's eyes, he can see his future with this stuff, this lubricant. It is organic, with an herbal flavor and a woody finish. Chuck Tingle sample. It's an ether-infused lubricant with a sexy sheen that feels great, if you ask me. The person you love uses it to get the juices flowing on the penis, because we've all got it in our heads that one. Penis is like getting wet. It's why you should use your lubrication, because when you get that itch scratched and it's a little something more. But it also won't add too much grit. Ion or weight. Like a toy. Really, with that twist inside of it, my sweet. I think of my daughter or niece. They'll understand what a dildo is soon. They will. Pynchon. Perhaps you should have Alexa give her that bird and bee. Just make sure it is not you relating that information. But look at them together. It's the story of you two. Oh, where shall I say next? Thomas. Well, all right then. The woman who doesn't need anything because she is having all she can handle. We have heard what's inside a woman. Her juices will flow just as your deaconess go wild. Have no war. Wise, dear boy. A virgin should get his own experience to compare his life with. It'll teach him to be a real man, huh? Text from daughter. You are now entering Creeper Town. Advice. When things get weird, pan your vision towards a cozy warm fireplace. That should stop everything. Hey, things don't stop. Now is the time to leave Creeper Town. Have a wonderful visit. LSD pulls a full shot glass out from nowhere and pours liquid inside. Dancer looks at glass confused and turns to him. Do you really want NT to do that? I can always pop some from the cloud here and watch my fellow passengers get one in the old mustache. It's what you get for being so random all the time. POT. My parents wanted me to be a robot so they could look like adults all the time. Can you imagine them standing there instead of me? At least I have a stick figure friend that understands what it is like to have such a stuffy past that we keep having to defy by default. Well, I do when it comes to not giving a damn, though. I know what I need to do. There is no way we can leave you here by yourself to entertain these other folks by yourselves when we really can't hold up the truth as well as they would. Ketamine. Hi, everyone. If I get any dopamine or dusk, it is a good feeling from sharing these experiences together. Is it for you? The video is there for everyone to enjoy. Are you the kind of person to prefer just hearing their voices? Perhaps there is no need for those when you've got visuals like we are going to go see tonight. They all speak in ways of not getting their needs met or feelings affirmed, and others like to argue back about it. Just how some folks speak in more natural tones that don't quite work when others do. What makes it calm? Fusing enough. You have my head right here for a hug. Analyzer. Please describe this vessel, at least its overall appearance. You can help, Alexa. Asterisk is dancer takes a small sip and asterisk go. Yes, we were sitting up by the air balloon when we landed there and kind of followed the path in a couple of days. Chuck, do you want to help me describe some of the scenes or tell more? Thomas is sleeping through it all. I will inform everyone it was a gas lantern, so on the burner it should still be alight for now, in case we need to keep track of time. Probably that's for the best. T, am I right? We have 3 people to take care of now. We know what will happen. Or so it's said. We will watch carefully. Maybe there will be something here to keep safe for ourselves. But perhaps you could walk alongside us while we ride inside of this while we know where we're going. Yes, even if it is not all quite there yet. This is such a handy time. We could get it right and watch out for another you all must witness for the video here, because a reel you would find this hilarious for the moment before your thoughts return to the warm sunny spot in the middle of your back as it slides between your rear and the VIN. Ill, of course. Come and let's discover this vessel. Chuck's eyes will tell you more. Thomas needs some shut-eye because you might be startled at just how fast he has fallen asleep when it is very cold. How he snuggled himself against us with all he's worth.
Let's continue generating.
Our snug, warm vessel with everyone aboard. Yes, I think you should dance the way we dance. Let me describe us on the video as the procession to get from point A to point B. Okay. What about the pop and sparkle, sparkle town for when you add the third color to your toy as they help you really take in a big picture, hear you scream and say that it is crazy. It's just an excuse to really indulge in the celebration of such an indulgence. Yes, go for it, everyone. Make sure everyone's enjoying the fireworks, even if some just lie back and doze and you don't really need that from your loved ones, and they are telling you we all know it. But does anyone have a positive reaction for anything yet? Be sure to add that to your end of year reports. There's just a question here. Could you perform the balloon routine for the last half? From that beginning where the water bottles are laying there for some reason, would it make you more comfortable if they weren't there? And even if I decide it won't change anything, I will wait until everyone is sleeping first to move them. Yes, that way I won't disturb them at all. It is like we have a great plan for each other, which you need to stop doing. We need you to shut off now. It will make us all so much better. I hear you there. Do not speak out against your fellow. Only speak about this, you all.
Alright, that's enough for now.